how did I get into car content, wanting to be a YouTuber and stuff like that? Well, if you know me, then you know I love cars. I always have. From Need for Speed games to Fast and the Furious movies, and later on in life, animes like Initial D and stuff like that, Wong in the Midnight. Yeah, so, you know, I've always loved cars and stuff like that since I was young and since I can remember, just not as detailed as I do now. And as far as knowing about them goes. Second of all, I want a better life for myself, and I want to be able to have a good life and make money doing what it is I love to do, which is content creating with cars, whether it's my cars, other cars. It would mainly be my cars and like my friends' cars and stuff like that. Excuse the cars in the background. Third, honestly, is I want to inspire other people to follow their dreams, even if it's not content creating like me and a lot of other people. You know, whatever dream you have is definitely achievable for the most part. You just have to do a lot of work. Sometimes you do more work than others. Sometimes it takes you longer than other people. But, you know, that's okay, because all that matters is that you're working towards what you love doing. And that, you know, just hope that one day you can make money off of it to live a good life. And I think there's a lot of stuff I want to do in life. It just involves cars, which is cool for me. You know, sometimes it's our dreams that we think of that keep us going in life. And I think I want more than I think people would call the average life, you know, which is, you know, 9 to 5, going to an office job or to a warehouse job or wherever. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think for me, I just wanted more, because I've always been I was the kid that liked to look at big houses, you know, and I want to live in a nice area. And, you know, obviously everyone has their struggles in life, you know. My life hasn't been the best, but, you know, if I could change it, then I'm going to try. And while changing my life and working towards the dream that I have, I hope that I can inspire others to do the same, as well as kind of help the people around there, as well as be able to help people around me, you know, get to where they want to be in life. You know I can't help save everybody, but who's to say who I won't help and save with just doing this content here? You know, I'm sure there's somebody else somewhere around the world who has the same or similar dream as me and a lot of others, and they probably just haven't started yet. You know, I used to watch my favorite YouTubers, and I used to be like, oh man, I can't wait till I start, stuff like that. I used to watch all Lemonade's videos, Jimmy Oak, Mike, Gary King, the Hoonigans, all of them, Larry Chin, Adam LZ, the list just goes on. Stradman, there's a lot of others, kind of can't think of right now. But, you know, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I loved it. You know, it made me happy when I was going through my times of hardship in life, and put a smile on my face. Although when it came to my first watching YouTube and stuff like that, actually watching it for like long periods of time, it started out with gaming. And the first person I watched was Markiplier, which I'm sure a lot of you people know. I watched Markiplier. I watched very little of a lot of other people like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and stuff like that. A lot of main people that I did watch, though, that my friend introduced me to, is Corey X Kenshin, Berleezy, Joe, PG, Rock, and all of them, their group. I used to watch Roman Atwood back in the day. If you know, you know. But yeah, you know, for me, it started off with gaming and stuff like that. You know, I used to love games when I was a kid. As I got older, I kind of fell off of games, but I liked watching people play games. And so those were the YouTubers I started off watching. And eventually, my friend introduced me to some car YouTubers. He actually did back in high school, before I got into some of these other gamers and stuff, but I just didn't pay too much attention to them. So when I got out of high school and I was going through my life and stuff like that, whatever problems, I decided to take some time to watch them, and so that's when I knew, this is something I wouldn't mind doing. It's fun, get to do with my friends and stuff like that. Not always, but a lot of the time I can. So, that's what I want to do, and I hope that one day I can inspire other people to do the same and follow their dreams. I think where I'm at right now, it was a part of my dream. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I used to dream about being where I'm at now. And to be here, I'm definitely grateful, and I'm proud of myself. The work I put in, the money I saved up and stuff like that. And, I'm happy. Not always. Some days are good, some days are bad. But overall, I'm happy with where I'm at. I got a long ways to go, but I'm happy and I'm proud of myself. So, pat yourself on the back for any progress that you've made, no matter what it is. And just remember that there's somebody that wishes they could be where you're at. And remember the younger you who used to wish he was where you're at now. So, don't stop, following your dreams and stuff like that. Don't stop working towards it, because eventually everything will fall in place. People will see you. You just got to put yourself out there. I'm not the biggest people person, so it was kind of hard. I'm just used to being around my friends and stuff like that. But it's cool, And I know you guys can do the same if you do have a dream. Sounds corny, I know, right? Sounds corny and stuff like that. Sometimes I be thinking the same thing when I'm recording these videos. But being positive shouldn't be corny. Although I will say the way some people do stuff is pretty damn corny. And I'm sure maybe I've done some corny stuff, but I know there's other content creators who are like super corny as fuck. And I think that kind of makes a lot of people turn away from them and watching their content, because it's like, not as relatable anymore, dude. Keep doing these ads and shit like that, and giveaways all the time. Like, I know some channels that were cool and then they just turned into straight giveaway channels. Nobody wants that shit, bro. Okay? Maybe. I don't. And I know a lot of other people who don't either. So, follow your dream, you feel me? Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do and stuff like that. And it's going to take time, trust, but just trust in the process of trusting yourself. Trust that what you're doing is for the greater good. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't stop living. Peace.